everybody, Martika here with Martika J Makes, and welcome to my channel. You guys, the month of November has been so special this year. As you know, it is National Diabetes Awareness Month, and by this being the 30th of November, this is the last day that we are bringing awareness. However, awareness for diabetes should go on and on and on because so many people deal with this disease, including myself. So I just wanted to come in and just have some real talk to just kind of, close this thing out with some nuggets to give you something to think about. Maybe you're dealing with this disease. Maybe you have a loved one or a friend who's dealing with this disease. And you guys, I believe that the only way that we can help people and we can help each other and we can help ourselves is with the honest to God truth, okay? And that is what I'm here to talk about today. Before I get into that, as we know, today is the last day for you all who are sewing for the Let's Sew Blue for type 1 and type 2. Just to help bring awareness, you're sewing up your blue projects, whether that be a garment or something else. You have been turning them into me. I have received emails. I have received photos in my DM on Instagram. And I appreciate each and every one of you for helping to bring awareness to this disease. Some of you have even shared your own stories, and that has made it so very special because the more of us who talk about this, the more people we can actually help. The more of us who talk about this, the more we can even help ourselves, whether you are dealing with this disease or not. It's also a preventative thing that you can do. So let's get on into this real talk moment that I want to have with you guys because I feel that it's so important. We go and we look at the studies, we go and we watch different videos, we read different things, but when it comes to diabetes, this is definitely a personal constructed issue. Every person with diabetes is like another piece of the puzzle. No two people are just alike. That means that our diets might have to be different. That means that the medications may be different. That means that the workout program may be different. It just depends on your environment, what's going on around you, what's going on within you that make it very different. Some are more severe than others, but all of it can lead to very severe cases. So that's what I kind of want to talk about today, and just I hope that nobody takes offense to anything that I say. But like I said, in order for us to help ourselves and help each other, it just has to be the truth. And what I have seen a lot of since dealing with this disease myself since 2022 is not enough people, or should I say too many people who have diabetes take it lightly, okay? And when I say take it lightly, I don't mean the fact of, oh, it's just nothing. I mean not taking into account of how serious it really can become, okay? And what I mean, and I'm talking about people that I know, people that I don't know. I see people who have diabetes eat all types of things that should not ever be in their mouth. Not only not ever be in their mouth, not ever be in anyone's mouth, because as we know, just about everything that we purchase here in America is sugar filled. I see people, I have heard people say, you only live once. You do. That we get one, and that's why we should make the best of it. I see people who deal with this disease, and not just diabetes, but with other things too, and not even push the effort of working out, doing something, whether that be walking or cardio or sit-ups or, dancing. Making it fun, something to give your body what it needs. it's heartbreaking, because there's so many ways that you can do better. Okay. And I say you because I know that I have done better for me. Okay. So hopefully I am helping someone out there, because I first had to have the talk with myself. Okay. Just a little personal story. My dad passed away 10 years ago, and he passed away from pancreatic cancer. But in going through the history after I became such a severe case of diabetes in the hospital with ketoacidosis and numbers so high I should have been in a coma or dead, it made me go back when they were asking if my parents or my grandparents had diabetes. Well, I knew my mother had been pretty much diagnosed as a pre-diabetic, pretty much for the most part. But I didn't know about my dad. So as I went and did some asking, I found out, you guys, my dad was not only diabetic, but my dad was on several medications for diabetes. This was a shock to me because I watched him eat everything that he should not have been eating. My dad would come and visit, and he would get up in the middle of the night at my house. And he might be in the kitchen at 3 a.m. eating cake or eating potato chips, things like that, because he was hungry. And that's just what he wanted to eat. There were other things in the kitchen, but that's what he wanted to eat. All of this time, I never knew that he had diabetes. Had I known, you guys, I would have been all over it. Believe me, ask my mother because I'm all over her. I'm all over everyone that I love because we can do better. Okay. This type 2 is reversible. I am in the process of reversing this thing already. If you saw my last praise report, I am completely off of all medications. You guys, which metformin was the only one I was on, and they had even looked at putting me on something else. But what they saw was that I began to control this thing with my diet and with exercise. Okay? So it can be done. If you don't believe it can, look at me. It can be done, you guys. You can do it. Your loved ones can do it. Do something. You don't have to stress about this thing. Take it one step. What can I do better? What can I eat better? I like eating this. How can I make it to where it's healthier for me? How can I do this? You have to be willing, number one, to make a choice. Okay. You have to be willing, number two, to do it. Okay. It is not easy. Diabetes is hard. My goodness. It is hard, you guys, especially when you have to make that life change overnight like I did. Okay. One day I'm eating everything I want. The next day I am being told of all of the things that I should not have. Talk about hard. There were many tears that I cried. People who know me look at me and say, oh, you're doing so good. And oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. You guys, if only you knew how hard it was. How hard it was because I had to live. I was laying on my deathbed. So I had to make a decision to change things up and say, okay, this is it. I want to be here for my family. Evidently, God has more for me to do because I'm still here. So I need to make it happen. You guys, you have to make that decision for yourself, and then you have to do it. Okay? Seriously. Now, when I was diagnosed, it wasn't that I had bad eating habits. And let me tell you why. I told you that my dad passed away 10 years ago. And one of the things that he told me that stuck with me from that day, even until today, I can still hear him in my ear just as strong as ever. I was sitting next to him when he told me, baby, take care of yourself. I did not take good care of myself. So you make sure you take good care of yourself. At that moment, I really began to evaluate the things that I was eating. And I wasn't eating bad, you guys. I just didn't know the concept of balancing my meals. Okay, it was all about balance. It was all about not having too many of these complex carbs on my plate and not enough protein or not enough non-starchy vegetables. I didn't know about all of that. But when I was diagnosed in the hospital with diabetes, you guys, I had to learn this thing. And it did not come easy. It came with many, many tears because I had to come home and I had to figure out what I could have, what I couldn't have. A lot of times there were things in the kitchen that just didn't go together, but I couldn't just go in there and just make a sandwich and not have any veggies, because that at that time it really could have spiked my blood sugar. My husband, who's the main cook in our house, he kind of backed away because he was afraid that he was going to fix the wrong thing, you guys. So it was almost at some point I felt like my cooking help had dropped off, but he was scared just as well until I explained, you go ahead and cook. And I'm telling you guys this for a reason, because this same thing may be going on in your family or wherever you are. I told my husband, you go ahead and cook, because I am responsible for what I put in my mouth. You don't feed me, I feed me. So if there's something on that plate, or if there's something that you have fixed that I know that I should not have, then I don't need to be putting it on my plate, or I don't need to be eating it. Or if your plate is being made, you need to make that person aware of it. Hey, this is too many too many complex carbs and not enough protein, or not enough, veggies. Hey, I could have fruit with this. That's fine. No, don't offer me the dessert. And that's another thing. You have to make the people aware around you. Do not offer me anything that I cannot have. Please. And if you are a person dealing with a loved one with diabetes, please do not offer them things that they should not have. Seriously. Because it's already hard to do food. And it's hard to not have the things that you really, really want. And so going on with that, what I started doing, I started making sure that there were things in my house that I knew that I could have, that was an alternative to the things that I could not have. Cookies, I found sugar-free, preferably without aspartame, because I don't do that stuff. But I found some that I really, really like. I will share in a separate video a lot of the things that I do enjoy and that is safe for me to eat. I share my own personal testimony because I am not a doctor and I am not a professional in that area, but I am a professional for myself because I know what I can do. So I share it with you so that you can do the same thing. So, I know that I loved fried chicken, so to speak. But I knew that I couldn't have it anymore. Not deep fried the way that we were doing it. Nope. So we had to start popping that stuff in the air fryer, which is amazing to me, or doing what I call a very shallow fry when I want it. I don't even want it as much anymore. Sweets. I wasn't like a big sweet eater, but if there was a dessert in the house that I really enjoyed, like brownies or cookies, a certain pie or things like that, oh yeah, I'd go all in. But I had to change that thing up and try to find a healthier version of it, a version of it that was sugar-free or very, very little sugar so that it would be safe for me to eat. I had to experiment with myself. I had to know what I could and could not have based on my own body. And that was by eating things. I was told, oh, be careful of apples, be careful of bananas, be careful of these things. However, when I talked to my endocrinologist nurse, she said, oh, you can have those things. You just need to make sure you're eating protein with it so that it can slow down the process of the sugars getting into your bloodstream. So you don't want to just be going all in every day, but when you do have it in moderation, make sure you're eating some protein with it. Put some peanut butter with it, or put some cheese with it, or something like that. You want a protein factor with those things. And if you want to see what it's doing to your blood sugar, eat it, test your blood sugar 2 hours later. You guys, if you haven't done that, or if you've never been told that, then do it. You'd be surprised at what you can have. I eat bananas all the time. I eat apples all the time. A lot of times having diabetes, you can't just go by what you're told, by loved ones or whoever else. You do have to test this thing out for yourself. And sometimes, eat those healthy things and then test your blood sugar a couple of hours later to see what it's doing inside your body. Another thing I encourage you, make sure you're seeing a specialist. I love my family doctor. We love him. But even he referred me back to my endocrinologist who stood by my hospital bed. Okay? He said, I need you to keep seeing her. So make sure if you are dealing with a certain type of disease or issue, you need to see a specialist in that area. Because our family doctors, yes, they're going to give us the baseline of what they know. But remember, I just told you that everybody who have diabetes is a puzzle piece. That means no piece is just alike. So you have to make sure that your regimen is being crafted for you. You need to see a specialist. That is my biggest advice to you. See a specialist so that you can have somebody who's going to be really looking at the details of what's going on with your body. And you guys, I just encourage you, whatever you can do better, because you can. I have read some testimonies that you guys have shared with me personally of how you have succeeded. Congratulations. I am the first to tell you that I am so proud of you. And for those of you who have the mindset, even right now, that I'm going to do better, just making that choice, I am so proud of you. And I look forward to hearing your testimonies in the future too. So if there is anything that I can tell you today to end this video rather, that is to love yourself, because you do only live once. You get one temple. We get one time at it, you guys. Don't let food be the end all be all for you. You make this temple priority. Don't suffer the consequences because it tastes good. Try it in a better way and make it taste good, okay? Because it all boils back to the food. And you can make it taste good. Believe me, I have so many things that I enjoy, and a lot of times even better than what I used to enjoy it, because it's better for me and I don't have to suffer the bad consequences of my sugar levels spiking up. So I hope that this has encouraged you. Be sure to comment below. You guys, share this with your loved ones. Share this with whoever you need to. I am here to encourage you. Work your way through it. It is a process. You guys, I don't feel like working out all the time. I'm gonna tell you that now. I don't feel like working out all the time. But I make sure that I get something in because I know it's good for this heart. And this heart needs it, because diabetes would love nothing more than to start eating away at it and making it in a worse shape than what it could have been. Okay? So take care of yourself. Love yourself. Do better for you. Do better for your family. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys. Have a great one. Bye-bye.